Alright, what is going on, guys? Crypto Mac here, bringing you another crypto video. Today, we're going to take a look at Wax. It's been a few days since I've done a video on Wax. Obviously, the markets are pretty down today. I woke up this morning and a lot of red. Most coins are down quite considerably. The main ones being Bitcoin and Ethereum. The good thing is that most coins aren't down that heavily in terms of altcoins. They're not bleeding against Bitcoin and Ethereum as I've seen in the past sort of month and a half, which is a positive sign nonetheless. I mean, Bitcoin's at $43,000 and Ethereum's at 3,400, which are low numbers. So I'm not gonna deny that, and that is a bit concerning for the market for sure. I'm not gonna say that's not the case. Before I jump into it, just want to say this video is not financial advice, guys. So please do your own research. Looking at Wax, we can see this symmetrical triangle we have just broken out of to the downside, which is really not ideal. As I said, massive, the whole market's red for the moment. When these like drops happen, Bitcoin had a big drop to 43,000. When this happens, a lot of coins kind of just dump and they can break support lines pretty easily. We saw that from Wax right here, dropping about 13% down there, and that's taken us out of this symmetrical triangle. I think there's definitely a chance the market can recover, and Bitcoin may pump in the next day or two back up to 47,000, somewhere around that point. We get resistance, some support on that $43,000 line, which we have had quite recently as well. So there always is the chance that it happens and the market can recover just as quickly as it dumped. Sometimes it's hard to see it that way on either side, pumping or dumping. It can be hard to see the market recovering when it dumps, and hard to see the market dumping when the market is pumping. You can become overly optimistic. But as I said, it's only a 13% move, and if the market does happen to recover, we could definitely see Wax just getting back into the symmetrical triangle and getting back on track and working at breaking that upper line right here as well. Another thing to look at it is, I mean, we kind of have to just disregard this big pump in a way, but also look at the bottom line. This top line is just our key resistance line, and even after this pump we can see, so there's our first resistance line, then it aided as some support right there until we break through 3 touch points right there and 1 touch point here, so we can just see there's major resistance along this line. But that's not the main point I want to get at for this sort of size moving channel. The bigger picture is this bottom line here. So we can see here, support line is what we're talking about a lot these days as the market's coming down. You know, where are we finding support to bounce off of? We can see two touch points here, and a third one right there. There's also these two which are a bit higher, but we don't touch it, so I'm not gonna count it. And we're currently right on the line here. So the question is, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say that, you know, we've held support, we're gonna just hold support here and bounce back up, straight back up and pump 22% to this top line. Like, it's unrealistic. The market's so unpredictable. Bitcoin at 43k, like, it could be going lower, and then if it does go lower, Wax is going to go lower. Like, I'm sorry to say, that's just most likely what's going to happen. But I mean, Wax is still holding like relatively solid at 42 cents. We know Wax had a massive rally as well. There's which we should definitely talk about. I mean, if you look at, you know, late September, did have a nice 400% move up to November, pretty short time frame. And then obviously it was just a coincidence that a correction and consolidation period was required off this pump at the same time that the entire market decided to have a big correction. So when they go in hand, you ultimately see a very high percentage correction, which, as we can see, to that wick was 60%, which is pretty regular in crypto. If you're new to crypto, you know, you might not know this, but anyone who's been in crypto in a while knows that unfortunately 60% corrections do happen. They're not like, they're rare, but they're not one-time events. Like, it does unfortunately happen, especially for altcoins, to see a 60% correction. Not only that, we've found ourselves in this now an accumulation region down here, and pretty much, if you can, this has been going on for 50 days, which is a relatively lengthy period of time. But it's important to have like a big correction. I've said this many times, it's important to have a big correction, and at the same time as having a big correction, but to have this consolidation period as well, which ultimately means coins don't get overbought, and therefore allows for coins to make big runs again. And a big run, like we just saw, like I just showed here about that, nearly 400% move. It's pretty massive. I mean, just to look at it on the scale, just to give you an idea of how actually big this is a massive move, right? Imagine Wax went on this move right here. It would value Wax at $1.20, so that's a 3x over a 3x. Massive move there. And in a short period of time, like it says by the end of February, not even end of February. So I'm just showing, what the move Wax saw was pretty massive, and therefore 1, a correction was due, 2, a consolidation period was due, and 3, that Wax could potentially make a move like this again, or more so maybe see this with some diminishing returns. And so instead of seeing, a move like 300-400%, maybe it's 200 to 300%. For that to take place, I'm not saying that's guaranteed at all, that's going to take place, but if that were to take place, you would need the market to recover. More importantly, Bitcoin to get back above that bull market support band would be extremely vital to have that take place. One other thing to look at for Wax is kind of, if we line it up like this, so we line the top here with this wick here as well, and we draw it down, you can see I can even get rid of these. You can see we're kind of on that support line as well. It depends where you draw it, because it's tough. Might go to the daily time frame. We go to the daily here, you can see, there you go. On the daily, you can see resistance, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So four resistance levels come down, and this is ultimately now potentially acting as support, which is pretty important. And it's it might just be me looking for something positive in this bad situation, but I do see this as some support. We're getting some support, and that we could start a trend back up from this level as well. I don't know what's going to happen in the short term, unfortunately. I speculate Bitcoin could be heading lower. There is support at that $43,000 level. We've been there before, and then we came back up to that $47,000 to $52,000 range, bounce between there. But Bitcoin could be going lower, and unfortunately, if Bitcoin goes lower, altcoins are going lower. There's almost no way about it that there are a few coins that are still holding up well. FET is holding up well. Link is holding up well. There's a few coins that are doing okay, but as I said, Bitcoin could be heading lower, or Bitcoin could recover, and it can recover at the same rate that it went down. Bitcoin could be at 47,000 tomorrow. We don't know, and if that takes place, well, most likely that'll push the market, and the market will probably have a good day tomorrow, and then we could see, Wax does bounce off this and goes back up to, let's say, 50 cents, and then finds itself at that resistance level we talked about right here and tries to break through that resistance level. There's no reason why that shouldn't happen, but as for the moment, we're at that bottom resistance level, aren't we? Down here where on the daily where the previous wicks were, right, a lot of wicks down here. We now have a candle forming on that. Hopefully we hold this line and start a trend back up. Got the Wax against Bitcoin, and we can see Wax isn't actually even performing that poorly against Bitcoin, even on this dump at all. Not massive moves, and there is support here, so Wax might even come down a little further to hold some more support, but there's not a lot to talk about here, just people holding some support, which is obviously quite nice. It's probably all I have to say for today. Let me know what you think of Wax. I'm pretty bullish on this project. I think it's going to perform well in 2022. It is tough to say, but I think 2022 the market cycle will extend into this year, and I think we're in for a good year. But 6 days into the new year, and Bitcoin's just made a new local low. Not ideal. But as I said, I think Wax is going to have a good year. It might take a month, 2 months, 3 months to really get going, and for people to really believe it. This happened last time when Bitcoin had that previous massive correction. The entire market dumped around April, May last year. So let me know what you think of Wax. Please give the video a like. Guys, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you later.